night here in the northeastern U.S., but we've got some football to keep us warm at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
They have three tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your better receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Well, these two teams, you might remember, met in Foxborough earlier in the season with the Patriots winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Foxborough to capture the season series. Again, it's Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. In motion right is Jones. Rodgers going to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the Pats are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Here's Cook again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Hey, 626.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And complete, right side to Cook. And some space here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a 1st down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We're scoreless after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Up the middle, it's Cook. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
26.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. A give. This is Cook. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now Justin Tucker's out to try to field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Still searching for that first breakthrough, and I thought this might be it. But it's not to be, and we're still scoreless.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Play fake. Mariota. Caught left side. Williams. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the 1st down. They love being physical.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They run it again with Cook.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Cook up the gut. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you can just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
On second and 12, Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Tunyon's got it on the out route. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tucker's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Mariota on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Payne. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. Here's a second and 2 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They go play action. Mariota. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mariota. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Play action now, Mariota. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another 1st down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Mariota. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. But that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Mariota. Open man is Duvernay. And they work this out past the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Left side, Cook. And he's got it to about the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
From the 39, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On third down, here's Williams. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point, right?
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New England. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these 2 defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And it's fielded at the 34. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position. A touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Mariota. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter program and watching him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On play action, Mariota. This one swung out to Williams. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To throw, Mariota. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Up the middle they go. It's Newton. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
102 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They'll try the middle with Cook. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And it's complete to Adams. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. What a chance they just took. A huge chance. They go for it on 4th down, wind up getting the first.
Go ahead and admit it. You thought it was a bad call, didn't you?
I did, yes.
I think any normal person did. How about him picking it up? Give him credit.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They try again with Cook. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Makes the score Dolphins 10, Patriots nothing. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now Mariota. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for Miami, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for New England, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.